Hey guys, so this is going to be a resource on how to eat and stay on track with your nutrition when you're traveling. It's pretty much ridiculous to say that we're always going to be at home and we're always going to be able to cook our own meals and know exactly what is in our meals every time that we eat. When you're at home, try to, of course, make an effort to cook as much food on your own, but when you're traveling, that's not always an option. So let's jump right in and talk about how to mitigate some of the downfalls when you're traveling. So why is this important, first of all? So consistency is the key to everything. So if you're not consistent when you're traveling, it's going to be much harder to see results and they're going to take a lot longer, especially if you travel somewhat often. Staying on track when you're traveling, it eliminates the need to get back on the wagon after you get back from the trip. It also gives you peace of mind while you're there and allows you to enjoy the trip, knowing that you're sticking to your goals instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm so off track right now. And, F it, might as well just blow the whole thing out. It gives you that peace of mind. So some common mistakes and pitfalls that I see a lot of time is having no plan before traveling. So just literally going, oh, we're going here, and not thinking about, what the food is going to be there and kind of what you're going to be eating when you're there. Just not having a plan. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Love that quote. Saying, I'll just worry about being good when I'm at home. Whenever I'm traveling, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to lay back or whatever. But the truth is, having fun is taking care of your body, right? Giving your body what it deserves and what it wants in order to feel good is having fun. So if you're out there just, eating and drinking and stuff and not even worrying about what you're putting in your body's going to respond that way and you're going to be inflamed and you're going to feel like crap. So think about that, right? Allowing others to decide what you eat when you're on a trip. So a lot of times we get influenced by what other people are doing and we can kind of fall into that peer pressure. But just setting up yourself for success when you get there and knowing that, hey, I'm going to do me and not worry about what other people are going to do. That is really a great strategy and a great mindset to go into it with. And then another thing kind of on the flip side is over obsessing about your nutrition when you're on a trip. You're there to enjoy yourself, right? So if you're worrying so much about the nutrition that you're going to not enjoy your trip, then that's just as bad, right? So some things you can do. One thing you always want to do is research ahead of time. So when you're going somewhere, if you say you're going to Florida for a weekend, or well, I don't know why you go to Florida for a weekend, but say you're going for a whole week, right? You're going to be researching where you're staying and what's nearby, right? Days ahead of the time before you leave, right? Look up where you're going, what the nearby restaurants are, what food stores, grocery stores, convenience stores, etc. Look at their menus and what items the stores have to offer, okay? And then once you do that and you look at all the menus, you look at all the food, right? Make a list of restaurants you'd like to visit from the ones that fit with your goals. So make a list. Oh, this one looks good. I'm going to write this down so I remember it, right? Make a list of that. Also make a grocery list and a list for foods that you want to pick up at the convenience stores with healthy items to get while you get there. That way you don't just walk in and go, oh man, the Doritos look really good. No, go in with a list and know exactly what you're going to do when you get there. Okay? So that's just kind of an overall tip for you. When you're if you're having to do takeout or fast food. So if you're, kind of on the go and you're just kind of doing something really quickly, you're not sitting down in a restaurant, but either you're ordering food to be delivered or you're just having to pick up something from a drive-through or just something really quickly. Here are some tips. Study the menu before you order or going to this location. Not all restaurants are the same. And a lot of them do have healthy options on their menu. You just have to look for them. So don't just assume that you'll just be able to pick a healthy item off the menu when you get there. Look at the menu ahead of time before you get there. Even the day before or the morning of, look at the menu, study it, look at all the options so you can choose the best one. Don't spend all day, but, spend 5-10 minutes on it. Decide what you're going to eat before you order and do not let others' orders influence yours. If you have to, be the first one to order. That way you don't have to kind of play off of what everybody else is doing. You make the decision first and you order first. Order a protein-centric meal. So don't go in and order a big bowl of pasta with literally nothing else in it because that's just, just carbs, which again, carbs are not bad, but you want to have protein as the center of your meal. And see if you can swap out some sides for something a little bit healthier. So for example, if you're going to McDonald's, see if you can swap the French fries out or see if you can swap out the fries for apple slices, or let's say you go to Subway, right? Instead of the potato chips that come on the side, see if you can get a side salad. Something small changes like that allow you to go to these restaurants, but they still allow you some wiggle room. Okay. get a treat every now and then, right? Like shoot, Subway has some of the best cookies out there, and some every now and then I'll get a cookie from Subway because they're really good. Um, if you're focusing on being 100% clean all the time while you're traveling, it's not going to happen, and you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to make it happen. So every once in a while, get that treat so you're not over obsessing over it. Okay. And then always, of course, avoid liquid calories, soda, juice, etc. Just stick with water, black coffee, things like that. Sweet teas and sodas and juices and all that. They got so much sugar in them, so many empty calories. You're not even going to feel it. You're not going to feel full from drinking a Mountain Dew. Try to get some water and then fill up on the food. If you're stopping at gas stations, convenience stores, things like that, here are some tips in there. I have to do this a lot when I'm traveling. I actually like some of the gas station snacks because they've come a long way, and you can really find some good stuff in there. Of course, kind of our overall theme, look for protein, okay? Don't search for low calorie all the time. Just because something is low in calories doesn't mean it's the best option. There's going to be better ones there. Like there's a bunch of like lower calorie, like little Nutri-Grain bars or something, or like I can't forget what the other brand is, but there's granola bars or whatever, and there might be 100 calories a piece, not too much, right? But I'd much rather you get a pack of beef jerky that is 300 calories, but you're getting 45 grams of protein instead of just some little bar that is not going to fill you up and not give you any protein. So look for protein first, not always just the low calorie ones. Okay. Always get snacks with 0 grams of added sugar, okay, or at least like 1 or 2 grams. Don't get anything with a bunch of added sugar. It's going to make you overeat and crave even more sugar. It does not fill you up. It makes you want to eat even more. Simple is best. Go for something that has as few ingredients as possible. So don't just look at the nutrition label, but actually look at the ingredients list as well. The smaller, the better. Skip liquid calories again from the coolers. Don't be going for the Mountain Dews or the 300 calorie Monster energy drinks, right? Avoid liquid calories in there. A lot of times you can get the diet ones that have 0 calories, so if you have to get a soda, get a diet soda. Some of my favorite gas station snacks in like their cooler section, or like the little area, a lot of times they have like hard boiled eggs or like cheese sticks, cheese cubes and stuff like that. Beef jerky, meat sticks like Slim Jims, pork rinds, roasted fava beans I've noticed are in there, which are really good. There's a brand called Bada Bean, Bada Boom, and they have some of these that are really good. That's a vegan one as well. Trail mix, again, make sure there's no added sugar in that. A protein bar or a protein shake, and of course fruit. Usually most convenience stores have like apples and bananas or oranges too. So yeah, now we're moving on to hotels. So if you're having to stay at a hotel, a lot of times, you wake up and you have the big hotel breakfast, right? So here's some strategies on how to have a good breakfast at your hotel, right? So here's our theme, filling up your protein plate with protein first. Fill up with eggs, milk, sausage, things like that. And then skip the muffins, cereals, cookies, and pastries. Again, these are not filling, and they're really high in calories with no protein. A lot of these things are just pure sugar. Again, they're not going to fill you up, and they're not coming with any protein. And if you're going for carb sources, right, a lot of hotels do have fruit and oatmeal for your carb source, okay? I don't want you to tell yourself that you can't have any of these things. Don't say, oh, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that. Say, I can have that stuff if I want. But first, I'm going to fill my plate with eggs and sausage and oatmeal and fruit. And then if I am still hungry and I feel like I have to go get something else and I want one of these things, then I can have it. But first, I'm going to make sure I get all that stuff. So my favorite or suggested hotel breakfast would be 2 big scoops of eggs, a couple of sausage links, a small bowl of oatmeal with a banana. And then I'm always taking a piece of fruit with me from that breakfast line too. Okay. Whenever you're out and you're doing things, if you're staying in a hotel and you don't have really like a bigger place to come back to, you always want to have non-perishable stuff with you in the hotel room and when you go out on your outings, right? So always have like beef jerky, the pork rinds, protein bars, stuff like that. If you do have like a fridge in your hotel room, again, you can store some of these hard-boiled eggs, cheese sticks, fruit, and things like that in the fridge. The last thing I want to touch on is alcohol, because it's pretty obvious that when you go on a trip, if it's a vacation, then you're definitely going to be drinking, which is perfectly fine. You should be out drinking and enjoying yourself with your friends or whoever you're going with. You just got to be smart about it, right? So my strategy is I always keep alcohol to one sitting. Okay. So I'm not going to be drinking at lunch and at dinner. I will just drink at dinner. Or if I decide to, get plastered at lunch, I'm not going to sober up and then go get drunk again at dinner. You got to kind of have one or the other in order to kind of stay on track. So decide how much you're going to drink and stick to it. This is one of my hardest things that I do. I will track my alcohol ahead of time, and I will decide how much I'm going to be drinking before I get there. Okay, it's hard to stick to it, but when you do, you feel so much better about it. I promise you. So that kind of leads me to the next point, which is go in your MyFitnessPal, log how much you want to drink the day before you go out or the morning of. Right, the more you want to drink, the more adjustments you're going to have to make earlier in the day, right? So if you want to have 4, 5, 6 drinks when you go out, just know that you're going to have to, be eating a lot of just pure protein throughout the day. That way you can stay on track with your numbers before you get to the end of the night. Okay. Opt for low calorie liquor. So like unflavored vodka, rum, gin, tequila, etc. These don't have any added sugar. So don't go for the strawberry flavored or the coconut flavored or the things like that, right? Just go with unflavored and then add your mixer in for the flavor. And when it comes to mixers, try to go for the diet mixers, a Diet Coke and rum or a vodka and diet cranberry juice, right? And this last one is just a piece of advice from me. Never get a double shot in your drinks. Never get a double. It catches up with you so fast. So just stick to these tips, guys, and I guarantee your travel experience will be a lot better. You'll not have the need to come back from your travel experience and be like, dang, I have to change my whole diet when I come back. That way I can get back on track. Stick to these tips and you won't fall off track. So let me know if this is helpful and if you have any questions.